we're starting this video a little hazy. Hopefully I'll have some better quality footage for you, but I can't resist anymore. All the testers, by the way. Hello, I got another test. This is my first test with Brianna of Little Wolf Knits. Is it Brianna? Brie? Everybody calls her Brie. And I love Brie the cheese. So naturally, I love Brie. But this is Suburban Stitcher yarn. I have been wanting to try Little Wolf Knits yarn, and hopefully I will one day, but right now it's not in the cards. So I'm using this from my stash, which y'all know from previous video footage that I gained because I made a sample for her. And yeah, I've been saving this yarn for like a perfect project. And I'm now to the point where I cannot resist, because Brie came out with some freaking flare pants. And I have to have them. And this colorway looks like it would be perfect. And I would wear it all the time. And it looks like I should have enough yardage. Each one of these has, let's looky, 460 yards. So we shall see. I'm going to go ahead and cake one of these up and start gauge swatching, and so I can start these soon. Yay! Yay! Or you can't even see my lips. Whatever, you get the idea. Okay, you're gonna hear everybody say it. The worst part is the swatching part. But it's true in some ways. It's the best part because it gives you like the best product, but it's the worst part because it's tedious in knitting and it never works on the first try because we all have different tensions. I freed up my needles from a project. I already started one swatch, and then I got thinking, oh, I better show y'all in a video. So Brie linked to, you can't even see my little sliver. Let me try flipping the camera. But Brie linked to this tutorial video from Patty Lyons about a kind of looser cast on and bind off for your swatch, and I've never done this before. It's so bizarre. It's like basically live stitches with like the same working yarn going through those live stitches. And so I just checked, and I'm like, I have like 16 stitches within the 4 inches. That's like way off with the suggested needle size, which is so normal because I'm a very loose knitter. So I don't know how far down I'm gonna go. So that's 3.75 is what the pattern says. I think in the smallest needle sizes I have are 2.75. So I sure hope that it works. Otherwise, I'm going to have to talk to her and see if I'm supposed to go up a size or up like yarn size, but I don't think that, I think she wants to stick to the suggested size. So I'd have to order some needles. Do they come smaller than this? This might help though, because I just got a wood version, and I think that helps me also. So hopefully my second time is going to be like the best time. Also, swatching in the round is a bit difficult. I am tempted to just make a whole bunch of extra stitches and like do it actually in the round. Although I'll have to deal with the cable, and yeah, it's fine. Let's see if I can show y'all the string through it. No, I'm gonna, once I achieve like the proper swatch, excuse me, the proper swatch, I will come back and show you so you can actually get a legitimate visual of the cast on and the bind off. Okay, so it's been a few days. I did the one swatch. I did block this. I didn't pin it down though. I just let it dry so it still is curling. Don't you just love a swatch in the round that has to have all this business in the back? That's what I'm saying. Knitting swatches are so difficult. But I still wanted to come back and show you how, so on the bind off area, you just have to, and I usually don't like snipping my swatches because I will unravel them and use them again, but like in my project. But so you snip it off and then just feed it through the live stitches, so there's no like super tight bind off, and you'll get like the actual dimension. And then this part, it looks the same, doesn't it? It's this weird way of casting on to still have those live stitches there. Mind-blowing. It's not fun per se, but it does the job very well. So I still was not satisfied with this swatch. I feel like, you see, you can kind of still see through it. And I'm also, I don't know, because I've gone back and forth. Because when I measure it now, I feel like I have the 23 stitches within it. But I definitely don't have the height. I think that it's there. I think it's there. It's, yeah, because 4 inches, 4 of these squares, it's pretty much there. But I don't know if I want to use the needles that I was using. So, thanks to the Fiber Lady, they're a local yarn shop for me, I just ordered these, and they were delivered in like 1 day. And I've been wanting to use shorties, so this is my opportunity. And you know what? I might as well get these because maybe I'll try socks again. Everybody's on the sock wagon, always have been, and I just can't get there. And maybe this might be the way for me. I've wanted to try like 9-inch circular needles, which basically I can do here. And I love how ChiaoGoo has come up with these combo shorties now. So you can get like the little shorty and then like a little bit bigger. And I use 4-inch needles, so I think the 3-inch will be easy for me to adapt to. So I'm going to try swatching with these. I have a feeling I'm going to get very similar to, and more on, what I need, I think, because these are brushed nickel, and the ones I was swatching with for this are bamboo wood, because I tend to be very loose. So the bamboo wood helps it stick, but I think since these are smaller, because this was a 2.75 millimeter, since these are smaller, 1.75, and on the brushed nickel, I'll probably get on the money with my swatching. Fingers crossed, at least. And if they do work, I needed these adapters to be able to have enough cord to work the pants. So these literally just got dropped off from the mail, and I am ready to get it going. So I really want to just unravel and do a new swatch, but I kind of want to see the comparison. So I'm going to keep this and work off of my yarn. And it sucks because when I go back, I'm going to have to, have ends to weave in or reattach in some way. Things have escalated quickly. So, y'all know I started with this swatch. And I've been all over the place with my feelings on it. But it's been blocked like twice because I blocked it again with this one. And it seems to be getting the right stitch count now as far as gauge goes. And then the tiny needles I got, I'm getting way too many stitches, like a couple too many, which can compound when it comes into a bigger garment, because remember, this is a 4-inch square, so if you multiply that by the circumference, then I'm going to be off by several stitches, which will give me extra inches that I don't want, because I want the same fit, obvi. So I went ahead and went with this needle size. I'm going along. This little band, so this is the waistband, and I am fascinated to see what is going to come of it, because this little thing right here, this is like to alleviate any folds, but look at that purl ridge. So this is essentially a double brim right here on the edge, and I was under the impression the entire waistband was a double brim, but I'm learning that I don't think it is. So we'll see how this actually goes. I have to continue on to a certain measurement, and I'm not there yet. But I am starting to like these bamboo a little bit more than I did. So I'm still working off of this same cake, the original one that I did. But if I'm liking it, then I am going to, like, see even the difference between this and that. Like, I understand this is blocked and this is not. I'm interested to see how it's going to change, but I will be going back and frogging these and using these, most likely. Yay. Okay, you're gonna get a glimpse into a design that I finished that I had to take pictures of today, but I just wanted to show my progress on here. I'm not supposed to show this either, but you don't see much. So I did try these shorts on. I'm calling them shorts. I tried them on, or attempted to try them on, and I've been wanting to get like a whip pic of them on, but I dropped some stitches in the meantime, so I said, can't do that. But I stitched up, like this leg right there is being created by my swatch. I stitched from my swatch, so I have nothing left of my first skein. That's it. I knit it all on here. I have a feeling that this is going to be pretty good as far as like even speckling colors. This one I feel like might have more speckles, so maybe I should save that for the bottom. I don't know. So I've got to cake up another yarn, so I thought I'd show y'all before I added another one on. I am currently on the thigh decreasing, so I think I can try it on soon. She was calling this left leg, but where the beginning of round marker was, she said was the back center. So, and I don't have the beginning round marker here, but I marked here where I was at the beginning of the round, and where it was some kind of length I had to go from here, or shaping or something. I can't remember what I marked at this point, but I left it there so I could see that side. So I'm thinking, yeah. And then somebody in the group made a mention of some other correction that needed to happen too. And yeah, this Slack group is it's pretty nice to do testing through this Slack group. I am enjoying that part because I can easily like catch up, or I guess I just learned today, yesterday, somebody told me that I could save things to be able to reference back to. So I want to look and see on that, because that seems like a cool feature. I don't know. I want to know how this fit is, but I feel like I got to get deeper into the leg. I think I want to measure this real quick and see my tape measure and make sure before I drop some stitches again. Okay, I'm going to wind up another cake. But like I said, I just wanted to show you my progress. Because before you know it, I'm going to be past these thigh decreases, and then I just have to go down the knee until where I want to flare. So after the thigh decreases, I have a feeling I'll be able to try it on. Yes, maybe, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so this just happened while I was stitching. It freaking broke. So I went and grabbed my Jimmy Beans Wool Smart Sticks. They're also 2.75 millimeters, which is, I believe, what I used on these. But the difference is going to be a lot because I don't know what the tension is going to be like or the gauge is going to be like now, because those are wood and these are not. I literally just got these new needles too. And I feel like I need to keep working on these bands. Okay, so a couple updates here. I guess one good thing about having to switch my needles is that I can try them on. But I've also learned this morning that I have to frog it. Not all of it, but the thigh part. So I don't know what that's going to be like to go back on that. But this is probably going to go in a timeout for now. But I wanted to show y'all. So I guess I also learned that today that this is in fact the back, and we are first working the right leg, then we'll be to the left leg. So and it really sucks because I was near the last, like, I think I had like a few more thigh decreases, and then that would be it. Did I say I'm making the standard measurements? I'm not doing the custom sizing. I just want to test that and see how it is. This is my first knit pants. So then I was thinking, because we have to weigh in each section, because I don't know how I think she's going to try and see if there's some kind of spreadsheet to enter stuff in to be able to spit out a more accurate yardage for people. But I'm weighing each section, and I feel like I'm going to have some inaccuracies if I don't do both legs at both times. And also, I did notice in adding the new skein that it does make a difference there. See, like, I generally don't care about color pooling, but you can see the line there is prominent. It's not near as bad on this section. Like, this part has more speckly there, but it's not right there. So that's technically... Oh yeah, this is the back side. So that's technically like the front side. I don't know how it's going to be whenever I have to frog and redo it. So I think if I can keep the skeins along the same way too, instead of doing one full leg and coming back to the other, that they can just fade down in whatever way that they are. This is really cool though. I have some, shorts on to see. This is a cool, like, chance to be able to see that this other top, like the top area here, fits. I think when the blocking happens, this waistband will be more visible. Let's see. Like, I say more visible. It'll be more, like, clean and nicer. So I think, I definitely feel like I'm going to want to have the elastic in there. She has instruction to help fit the elastic in. But I feel like I want that security. The way that I am, it just feels like really loose, which is to be expected. I mean, it's knit fabric. Look at that booty. Look at that thigh. So yeah, the decreasing, I was doing it at this part. So it ended up being on the back. I should have asked before because I was wondering about that anyway. It didn't note to center the decreasing. So it ended up being here down the back. And I thought that weird. I was like, wouldn't you think it'd be more in the front rather than the back because you need more in the back? But I think she wants those decreasing to be in the inner of the leg. I'm going to take, oh, excuse me, what's wrong with me? I ate a Butterfinger right before this, but I'm going to take like a little progress picture of this just because. Yeah. And then this is going to go on timeout, and I will possibly order another set of needles. But not the wood ones. I'm giving up on the wood ones. And because I felt like I was in a meditative point of getting to go in the round and having to deal with this extra long cable, I feel like is going to affect my gauge, and it's tedious to do the magic loop thing, right? That's what it's called, I think. Anyway, plus I just like ChowGoo, as long as it's brushed nickel at this point. Tell me when the stars are going to line again to not make everything that I do a mess. Okay, so I put this on spare needles because, well, I say spare needles. This is not a spare needle. This is one of those, I don't even know what it's called, stitch holder or whatever, something to that effect. It's by Clover, I believe, and like, it's freaking amazing. I need to get more, and I think they have different sizes you can get too, so I need to try different sizes because it makes it easier to try things on. Oh my god, please don't drop any of these stitches. Okay, cool. So I have, frogging this was not fun, but I have moved all those decreases to the center here. She's corrected the instructions, and I'm much happier about it. Look, we don't have, like, it's all even. It's not the best booty angle, but you know. Yay! Yay! I have pants. Now I'm going to do the thigh decreases on this, and I'm going to have shorts! I have been dealing with yarn chicken from working on the inside and the outside of the skein. And I feel like I just keep knitting and nothing is growing. I'm trying to get to the mid-calf, doing 2 at a time if you haven't noticed. I finally this morning got the the yarn barf untangled. So I'm good. I think I might just knit the rest of this skein and see where it gets me. I can't even take my legs apart because these needles. So I don't know. It's very similar to socks that I'm doing here. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. Like, how am I going to show you? So I will, like, Tamale is sleeping here. I don't even know if I showed her. So I will, like, knit around, and then I'll end on the other one, then knit around. And I can't help myself. This is why I don't like 2 at a time socks or socks in general. I can't help myself. I always seem to have a ladder. I think I'm doing fairly decent. I'm okay with this kind of seam. It is what it is, but I don't want that in the flare. So I'm probably gonna go back to doing just each leg on the flare part, but this is nice to just be knitting and knitting. Let's just finish this skein. It took me a lifetime to build these legs, and now I am gonna do the hem. So I have to pick up these legs down here and to be able to join with Kitchener. And I almost was thinking this was gonna get interesting, but I do have the other needle from when I broke it. Thanks for giving me the idea, Brianna, to use the stopper on the other end. I totally forgot I have at least one of the needles. So we're good here. Y'all, that Kitchener stitch took me a lifetime. And it really, I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough yarn to finish this second leg. What's crazy is that I just saw the dyer this weekend, and I wish I'd known she was going to go to the event I went to. I would have had her bring me some more yarn, because I just said, I'm tired of working on this dang leg. It seems like it's there. But I think that it's going to come down in blocking and wear, and I can't even tell how this is going to be without elastic. I mean, obviously, it doesn't stay up. I really don't understand the purpose of the Kitchener, because it doesn't matter if, like, I don't feel like it needs to be, what's the word I'm trying to talk about? Grafted. Yeah, I don't feel like it needs to be grafted. Like, it doesn't have to be seamless. It's on the inside of the ankle. And I feel like all the Kitchener does is make it flip outwards. I feel like I could have just joined that like a double brim would. So I think that'll even out whenever I block it. I think it'll be long enough. I think I'll get a better idea of how this all fits whenever I can put an elastic in there and this can block too. Right now, I just don't know. But the flare part's kind of cool. And this is due in a couple days, one leg of it. So I really didn't have a choice, because I needed, it took me all afternoon to do that Kitchener, and I had 4 stitches left on one needle somehow. So doing that many stitches on Kitchener, easily something is going to get lost. I don't know. Now I'm going to have to figure out making the second leg the same way. Y'all don't even know. Sleeve Island has nothing on Leg Island. It'll be worth it because these are looking pretty cool and wearable. I mean, it's right there at my ankle. I imagine it's gonna be perfect. I don't want it to really be on the ground. So I think this is gonna be a great fit. Okay. It took me all day long yesterday to finish the second flare. Notes are technically due today for one leg, but I want to have both legs done because I've been documenting like the weight throughout it, so she can come up with like a way to estimate yardage for you know, the finished pattern or whatever. I don't know how she plans on doing that. But she's requested that we like document each section. So I guess my flare and hem is going to be at the same time. But yeah, so it took me all day to get my second flare. I have 2 flares. And this last Kitchener, I forgot to really stretch it out good. It seems okay now. I had to undo what I did a little bit, but it does feel part of it is a little bit like snug, less like stretch as this one does. Well, I guess it does the same thing. Like you can feel the string go through it. For some reason, and all morning it took me to do Kitchener stitch. It is now like lunchtime and I started at like 8. This 216 stitches. And this one took me all evening, night before I think, to do the Kitchener, because yeah. So what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, I'm glad to have it done, but now I wanted to try it on so that you could see, but I feel like you don't get an idea at all. It looks like culottes right now, because like I don't know how this is gonna be here with I have like gaps too. I can't help that, even in regular sweaters, which this is like a sweater for your legs. So that's so funny to me, but it legitimately is, because it only took me like 3 hanks to make entire pants, which is like a sweater, right? But I feel like I can't get a legitimate idea without elastic, because like my butt crack, that much of my butt crack is showing. This is like the middle of my butt, it's falling. So I feel like I can't get a real idea with how loose this is here. And also because it definitely needs blocking. I'm gonna steam it for my notes and for pictures real quick. But I definitely think it needs a big wet block, because it's like culottes for me right now, like all rolled up. And I only have like this much yarn left. So I estimated that pretty well. And I mean, I didn't have a choice. I had to go with it like that. So I'm gonna weigh this last bit, and I already have like my iron set up so that I can steam it. And we'll see if the fit gets better. But they're basically done. I'm gonna go back after I steam it and correct these holes here in the crotch and booty and weave in the last few ends. There aren't very many ends, which is nice. That's what I was gonna say. On the Kitchener, I don't know if I was doing it wrong or what, but that's the first time I've ever like really done it to where it was like in between the work. Like that I was feeding the yarn through, or I can't come up with words. I should have ate food before we're recording this part. I'm so hungry right now. But I end up with like 4 stitches both times left. So I don't know what's going on, and I just end up like feeding. So if you look really closely here, it's not gonna focus, is it? But you can tell it's those 4 stitches because I just fed it through the leg of that, and then I wove in the ends there. They're done though. Okay, I forgot. I didn't even share with y'all after I steamed it, or even share with y'all the process to which I do the steaming. I don't have like a fancy steamer or anything like that. I just use like an iron. And I just don't make sure I don't put the plate actually on the yarn. And I just keep water and am constantly filling it, and it has like a little button on it, so I keep pressing like the button to, yeah. Okay, so let me go in here and I'll set y'all on the ground so that I can show you the pants. My gauge, looking back at it, I ended up submitting my notes yesterday, so I really looked at things closely, and my gauge is different being just steamed. I definitely think that it's going to grow because my swatch grew. So that's what I'm expecting to happen. But y'all know I went through some stuff where like my needles broke. And so all that's going to play a role, and I had to do like magic loop, and any little thing can change tension. Don't need me to tell you this, but yes, it does. Okay, let's see how gracefully I can do this. But I'm going to put you on the ground here. So I can really, I'm going to put the pants on. I should have done this yesterday, but I'm about to block it. So, like wet block it, not steam block it. And I think I'll get like I think like the little brims and everything will stay down, like flatter, better. I think that I will get more length, and I don't know, I'm probably gonna pin it out to dry, but we're gonna be gone this weekend for racing, so I want to make sure that I do this before so that I can get like proper finish photos by the time it releases. I think she's gonna do it next week. But yeah, so these are, I ended up putting elastic in it, and she used like an elastic like thread, but all I had was this, and I had like a clear one that's a bit thicker. This is like a flat bit, so I did it in the same way that she did, where I put it through the purl bumps. And she should be linking the tutorial. She has used this in her other patterns as well. So if you're familiar with Little Wolf knits, then you'll know. But every so often, like every length of stitches about that long, I would try and make sure that I would twist it and make sure that it was laying flat and not so twisted. So I still think that this is doable with a flat elastic, and I'm never going to wear it up. That's just never going to happen. So really I could have just like made it to where the fold over was permanent and keep a band in there. So I'm not going to worry about trimming this or like hiding that in any way. I don't care. I think it's going to stay covered like that, and it'll give me the ability if ever I need to exchange it out, or not that I couldn't access it before, but yeah. So I do think that my stitches, because I obviously used 2 different needles. Like I said, it broke during the body part here. I think that my stitches here are way different than what the leg stitches are. So even just holding it up, I feel like I can see through this area more than this, but also wearing it to take pictures yesterday, I think the warmth of my body and bending your booty and stuff in it, it bends in there more than my legs do. This is going to be interesting because I have like leggings and pants on, so putting them on is a little bit different than yesterday. So, okay, I'm gonna have to turn the camera down more so you can see. I have, okay, because I felt like it's still, like, I don't want them to the ground. I don't want them to the ground because then when I block them, and I legit had like 46 yards left. That's it, like 10 grams. That's it. So I was cutting it really close. I almost wish I could have used that extra little bit to get a little bit more out of both legs, but it's kind of hard to guesstimate on that. I also would have liked to just have gotten another skein, but I also wanted to have, I was ready to be done, and I wanted to have both legs at release time, and that's just how I was measuring everything for Brie. So, yeah, it is what it is, but I think that'll end up being perfect because if I wear it, well, blocking it, and then with where I think the legs might start sagging, you know, and so I don't want to be walking on my knits when I wear it. So I want it to be like just at my shoe and just at the floor, but not able to step on. And I did a large flare. Ooh, I did a large flare. So, yeah, okay. You see, I feel like it's just right there. So, and then I had some gaps and I closed them all up in steaming, so that worked out. But, it's perfect. It fits perfect. But I do feel like, you know, it's a little bit shy. We got a little bit of a high water action here. So when I put a booty on, it does look shorter, but I think even as like a capri or a culotte, or whatever, like if I have it like up, pull it up like this, I think that's actually kind of cute. It's kind of kitty looking, but I think that it could definitely be styled pretty classy. But yeah, so I think on a wet block, like I said, I'm going to get down to the actual floor. So we're going to see how that works out. But I wanted to show you ahead of time what was going on here. Yeah, she suggested too that before you work on the flare, to like when you're extending the leg, and before you work on the flare, to block it however you want it to be, and then work on the flare. So you know exactly where it's going to fall. But the thing is too, I mean, like when you block the flare out, then it might grow then too. So it's really all a guessing game. But I'm happy they're done. It was a journey. I mean, it is a legitimate sweater for your legs. I never realized my legs were so long, but when I look at this, they're really not that long. I'm 5'3", and I wouldn't say I'm all legs. But anybody suddenly feels tall when you're on Leg Island. It totally trumps Sleeve Island. All right, here's to blocking. Okay,
I definitely believe that the legs grew, but we'll see how it dries. Isn't she beautiful?
As soon as I got home, I put these pants on and I was like, oh my gosh, they are so perfect. They're exactly where I want them to be, so they're not like touching the ground, although I'm sitting on the ground right now. Wild. I just snapped like a couple pictures. Pants are hard to get pictures of. So I thought it kind of cheesy. I know I'm wearing AC/DC, but the roses have been blooming like really great. And then of course, when I come to take a picture, we've been dealing with storms. And so the roses are not happy now, but I'm still working with it. So I'm going to try and do like a Guns N' Roses kind of reel, but we'll see how it goes. And I think that's it. I just wanted to come on here and say that they're done and wearable. They dried fine. I do feel like I need to probably reblock a little bit on the back edge because I wasn't home to be able to flip it, and I like to flip it in the middle of drying so everything gets, you know, it's great flatness. But yeah, these are definitely cozy and I feel accomplished having made knit pants. It's a big deal. Well, we're gonna call it good. I'm gonna call it a wrap. I'm standing on my door with no pants on. Just my little shorts that I had on underneath, like little undie shorts. What will neighbors think? We survived the panini, so we're good. That's not why I came on here, but I wanted to say, you know, like I did initially want to take the pictures as a surprise for Brie, like with donuts or a cheeseburger or something cool like that, because she is a fanatic of those things, and I thought it would be cool to have some photos with it like that, but I haven't had a chance to go get donuts. And the weather is unpredictable right now with lots of rain, so I was lucky to be able to fit that in. And release is in like a couple days. So I always have later, so follow me on IG and maybe you'll see later how many other times I wear the pants or share them. I might just take a picture with some donuts sometime, mostly as an excuse to get donuts. See you next time.